Lieutenant Frank, as seen on KTLA Channel 5 News in Los Angeles. He was interviewed during that Rams-Cowboys playoffs tailgate. Did you see it? Lieutenant Frank hired to congratulate both bride and groom literally the moment after they said, "I do," and then joined them in the limo to the Bellagio in Las Vegas, then arm in arm escorted them out of the limo through the Bellagio. Lieutenant Frank, as hired by a California Highway Patrol officer as atmosphere at his boss's lieutenant promotion luncheon at Bank of California Stadium at Echo Park. Lieutenant Frank, as hired by that now promoted California Highway Patrol lieutenant for his birthday party for him and his twin brother. Lieutenant Frank of Vegas 90210.com, who more people each day are demanding host the Oscars. To sign the petition, go to Vegas90210.com, click Oscars. Now, about your birthday, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, office, and other parties, are they missing a certain different kind of law enforcement cheetah? The kind sporting women's short shorts, rainbow tactical leg warmers, and a Barbie walkie? Remember how much fun Lieutenant Frank was at your football tailgate here in LA? Why not hire him for your Super Bowl party? Not to mention meet and greets, grand openings, surprise deliveries, or singing telegrams. Hey, the limit is your and my imagination. Got Lieutenant Frank? Book him today at Vegas90210.com. You're nobody till somebody loves you. Spreading the news like mayonnaise on toast. The policy of truth. Gary, I have a mission for you. Eastbound and down, loading up and truck 'em. Flux capacitor, okay. But let me tell you about that time I drove a cab. Money that's something, chicks that read. I want my Mark TV. First, you're not on TV. Podcast. Now, that is some weird and wild stuff. Did you know that, Ed? Yes! Oh, please don't drop me home, because it's not my home, it's their home, and I'm welcome no more. Well, Robin attended Juilliard. I attended Hillsdale. I'm a graduate of the San Francisco Comedy College. I've traveled the Midwest quite extensively. I lived through The Big Short and I had a pretty good time doing that. I've seen Pat Robertson jabber about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact you're talking to a subversive. So what do you think? Do you think I'm qualified?
Oh, well, I think we'll need to pray about that and ask your father.
Shut up, Marilyn! Just eat it. Just eat it. The Mark Roman Empire. Also, a podcast. It's showtime. And I find that I'm never alone. And I find that my heart is my home. And the music within makes me whole. A world that I built on my own. And I know that I'm never alone. And I know that my heart is my home. Every missing piece of me, I can find in a melody. I can find in a melody. That was my Marky Okie. Heavy on the Okie of of Melody by Kate Earl, which I'll find someday, that melody. Oh, a little overdue, if you ask me, but maybe not. Maybe I should have worked a little more on that one, but love that song. It's a great song. Hey, teen sensation Kurt Tasi is on the show today. Yeah, the guy who dances with his cat in those videos. That guy. Oh, hi there. I'm Mark Roman. Mark who? Mark Roman. You know, like the Empire. My interview with Kurt in a moment. We are at the world-famous Musicians Institute here in Hollywood.
on Hollywood Boulevard, carefully nestled between a Tom Cruise Scientology hostel and another human on the street in desperate need of health care and a home. Thanks, Sir Ronald Reagan. They're all Nurse Ratched. I just know it. We are safely within stumbling distance of the legendary Pig and Whistle. Many stars have been in there back in the day, as well as Jameson's Irish Pub, where everyone knows Lieutenant Frank's name. Fucking cat. Not Kurt's cat, Zeus. More about that in a moment. No, the fucking cat I can hear from my apartment after I got home from the gym today. And last night, as I'm attempting to fall asleep, all last night, it's like the thing gets paid in cans of tuna per meow. And mind you, it's not a frantic meow. This doesn't sound like a cat in distress. It's more of a dead-end job meow. Like, I just envision this cat somewhere smoking a cigarette. You know, he's just trying to get through his cat day. Her cat day? Cats can be transgender, right? Anyway, it's about cats today, apparently. Health update, because, you know, I'm that guy of a certain, you know, fill in the blank. Last week was perfect. I hit the gym 3 times. One of these days I'll get up to 5, but you guys are probably gonna have to buy some swag, more than you already are, and then I can do 5. Okay, all right. I really need your help here. Just come on, work with me. All right, work with me. This week I did one today, but I missed Monday because Monday had I guess one of those 24-hour things. I was literally at death's fucking door. I had no energy. It was super ass windy. I tried to bus because Captain America. And after like literally 15 minutes of that wind, I kind of talk. I didn't have the mojo. I was like in the off position. So I went home and I did go to see Aquaman, which features a Depeche Mode song. Finally got to see Aquaman. It's No Good by Depeche Mode. The scene where Black Manta, this is not a spoiler, but Black Manta is constructing a supervillain suit. I hope I didn't plot spoil anything for you. But it was kind of cool to hear some Depeche Mode in a big budget superhero movie. Wonderful film. Loved watching female characters make crucial decisions, take leadership, and kick ass. Now, I grew up a huge DC fan, primarily Batman. I also loved Wonder Woman. Probably need to talk to a psychiatrist about the last one, but who knows? I don't know. I got to say, though, and it's I love the Aquaman film. It's really cool to have a friend from Brazil who literally just left back to Brazil, but he was doing a fantastic cosplay of Aquaman. I miss you, brother. I don't know. Now, grant you, I was feeling kind of under the weather that day, so maybe I was just in a grumpy mood, but I couldn't help feeling like I was watching a cartoon. And it's weird because logically, it's the same kind of premises, all right? But when I watch a Marvel film, mind you, I'm a DC guy. I grew up a DC guy, all right? Marvel's had to win me over really, hard and treacherous path, but they've done it. And when I look at Thanos and what he does, I'm like, metaphysically and, laws of physics, okay, you got to kind of bend him around, but that's plausible. I think Titans could exist. I think you could have a glove. I think that could happen, But I don't know. With the DC stuff, maybe DC just lost me when people thought Ben Affleck as Batman was a good idea. I don't know, but of course, you're trying to do something after Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight and Christian Bale's performance in there and Heath Ledger's performance. It's like, how do you do that? It's difficult. I get it, but I don't know. I think you should see Aquaman, but I got to say, I'm a lot more excited, looking forward to Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame, what people used to call Avengers 4. It's Avengers Endgame, what happens after Infinity War. That's what I'm all excited about. So, and, I took my time seeing Aquaman, clearly. So I don't know. Speaking of Christian Bale, I saw him in Vice, got to screen him at the very same theater where I saw Black Klansman last week and got to see Spike Lee do a Q&A. That was super cool. This one, there was no Q&A afterward. I misunderstood. Although there was a there was a WGA guy that literally flew down from Seattle to see Vice. And in his email from his guild, apparently there was the promise of a Q&A with Amy Adams and Christopher. Come on. Chris, the guy. My mind's blanking right now. The guy who plays Cheney in Vice. Jesus, is this what growing old is about? You have it. You can see the word, it's there, but you just can't articulate it. We're losing Dad, I think. Yeah, he would. They have a nice meatloaf night at that home. Maybe I think we should get a brochure. Yeah, let's get a brochure. It's a start. Yeah, we don't have to make any decisions now. All right, Jesus Christ. All right, back to Vice. Christian Bale. Jesus Christ. A 4-letter word I can't remember. Wow. And I did my 20 minutes of cardio today. What the hell's going on? All right. So Christian Bale was spectacular. Highly recommend Vice. It's a little weird though, because it kind of, I don't want to say it triggered me, but it's like, I remember going to Hillsdale College back when I was kind of Christian, but very politically conservative. And Lynn Cheney, played by Amy Adams, when they show the scene in the movie Vice where she's, on the National Endowment of the Arts, chairing that commission to basically say, I say no to art, because that's how Lynn Cheney or Amy Adams sounds. That's basically what she did, said no to arts. It's weird. I remember her coming to Hillsdale College and speaking about that, and it was basically say no to arts. Nancy Reagan was say no to drugs. Lynn Cheney was say no to arts, but they literally did. They dried up the funding. Thanks, Lynn Cheney. And then just this past weekend, I'm listening to Meet the Press, and the Cheney daughter, Liz, I guess, who's an up-and-coming Republican. I just couldn't help, as I'm listening to her talk on Meet the Press, I'm just thinking, how much Halliburton money have you already enjoyed and will continue to enjoy? I just, I just see this big, huge Halliburton, NASCAR racing jacket on her. I don't know, but highly recommend Vice. It's entertaining. It's also very informative. I don't know if they pulled off what they did in The Big Short. I feel like I kind of prefer The Big Short. And I don't think that's just because I experienced that being in the mortgage industry. But I don't know. It's it was a similar thing like what they did. The guy who teams up with Will Ferrell is the guy who wrote it. Was spectacular. But really good. I highly recommend going and seeing Vice. Oh, hey, I was on another podcast, guys, just yesterday. When you hear this, it would have been last week when you hear this podcast. I recorded it yesterday in my time and space continuum here. But by the time you hear this podcast and you hear my voice right now, the episode I'm on of nurses and hypochondriacs, it will have either just released or is about to any day now. And I was with Ursilia Pompilio. That's her podcast. And she was on this podcast, and she returned the favor to have me on hers. Really cool. Talk to this guy, Leo, who actually is a real male nurse. That's his profession. But as it turns out, he's also an actor, and he's doing a lot of cool stuff, too. He's got a film I want to watch. Standing Watch, I think. I don't know. Listen to the podcast. We'll have a link in the probably next week's podcast page. Now, I got to ask you this. When's the last time you explored the podcast website, MarkRomanEmpire.com, huh? I mean, like the podcast, I do keep adding to and improving the website along the way. One page you might want to visit on the regular is the support page. Do you like free stuff? Want to support this podcast? Well, now you can do both, all at the same time. Head on over to MarkRomanEmpire.com and click support. Discover free stuff from companies like Coffee Bean, Farmer Boys, Cash App, Uber, and Lyft. Healthy lists that keep growing. Are you fixing to buy something or try a new app? You don't even know how the purchase you already planned could at the same time support this podcast? Learn how before you buy anything. Make sure your purchases count. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click support. Now you can buy stuff too. I don't mind. Groovy products and services from all our sponsors, or my swing and swag, my poem, as well as Lieutenant Frank's citations and headshots. Whether free or good value, take advantage of select offers while knowing you are helping me record one more podcast and helping give my body and voice a break. I need that from time to time. Apparently Monday was one of those times. As well as some much needed rest. Help me take a sick day or a vacation weekend that I can actually plan instead of it just happening to me. Can you help me out? I'd sure appreciate it. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click support. Hey, why not get some free swag? I mean, I'd love for you guys to buy some, but would you like some free swag? The poem, the citation, the Lieutenant Frank hydrant photo, new swag's coming soon. One lucky citizen of Mark Roman Empire will win their choice of swag. It's my way of celebrating our 16th episode recorded last week, my Sweet 16. Now we're on 17. I don't know if we're a magazine, but we're definitely a podcast. All you have to do is be a citizen of Mark Roman Empire by midnight Pacific Standard Time, the 31st of January in this 2019. So hopefully you're hearing this soon after it dropped. You got literally days, maybe hours. One citizen will be drawn from a hat or bowl or some kind of bucket. The winning citizen gets their choice of one item of swag. Available as of the 31st of January, 2019. Citizens are members of my fan club. To become a citizen, go to markromanempire.com and click census and subscribe to the fan club. But hurry, you must subscribe and gain citizenship by the 31st of January, 2019 to be entered to win. markromanempire.com. Click census. Good luck. Now, I've been talking to you a lot about Vanka, my friend Vanka. And the reason why is because she still needs our help. And I'd like to encourage you to hero tier for her. Now, I worked with her back in my mortgage industry days. Now she is homeless. And she's struggling with a stroke that she had 2 years ago that doctors missed. To learn more, go to markromanempire.com, click Vanka. But just to give you a little quick update, her Social Security hearing is in March. Now, that doesn't really help her out survive right now. She's found a friend and fellow survivor in Will, who's also homeless. Together, they are Will and Grace. Now, Vanka started a GoFundMe for Will as well. They both need each other and our help. And what we've just had happen here recently, Vanka just texted me yesterday to let me know that both Vanka and Will definitely listen to the podcast. They're huge fans. They are making plans now for when their homelessness ends. Vanka calls Will her trophy husband. He apparently really enjoys that. And Vanka has a plan. They want to come down here to LA when they finally have a home. And Vanka has a plan to introduce Will to some cool SoCal stuff. She wants to take him to Cantor's Deli. I just took a friend of mine who'd never been about a week ago. That's definitely a key LA experience. She's looking forward to taking Will to Mulholland Drive. I mean, come on. It's where there's literally a film about it. Jack Nicholson lives up there somewhere. So do a lot of other stars. It's extremely Hollywood. And Vanka is a big Disneyland fan. Huge. She even calls herself a Disneyland pro. And she would love to bring Will there. Along with a lot of other really groovy stuff because Vanka is originally from here in LA, Orange County specifically. It would be groovy to speed up the process of them being able to enjoy that. I'm sensing more hope from Vanka. The reality, though, is that she and Will face several ugly survival challenges each and every day. Vanka's only raised $2,900 on her GoFundMe since she started, which was last year, like early last year. Now, Will's GoFundMe, that's only raised $10. I mean, I think you can tell that's not enough for either of them. Even $5 from you right now would make a huge difference for Vanka and Will. Now, for any of you listening right now, of my Hollywood industry listeners, if you know someone who knows or works with Eric McCormick or Deborah Messing or Ellen, please pass this story on. It would make a huge difference in the lives of both Will and Vanka. Will and Grace. MarkRomanEmpire.com. Click Vanka for all the details on how to help and all the different ways to do so. Be a hero tier. So I'm at the store. This happens often. Store cashier will ask me, do you need your parking validated? My reply, no, I'm in a 12-step program. That's what I do. I wait. And usually they ignore me, but it's fun for me. Something that I do. The LA teachers strike ended. Yay. That's why I'm wearing my my SAG-AFTRA t-shirt here. Want to show a little solidarity. Unfortunately, I did miss the Hollywood High picket line last week. Preparing for the podcast. I also missed the hashtag strike BBH rally at the La Brea Tar Pits today for SAG-AFTRA, my own union. And that's something that's been going on for a while. Strike BBH. That I think I went to last year, so that's still ongoing. There's a lot of commercial work that Fortune 500 companies that are in contract with SAG-AFTRA, instead of using union talent like they are contractually required to, and they have money to do so, they go and they get non-union. This happens all the time. In my union, which a lot of us members might have complaints for, but it's the only union we got, they're trying to do something about that to turn the tide a little bit. And I think right now, especially when you look at what's happening with the federal government still being shut down, what the teachers have been doing in different locations throughout the country. Apparently, Oakland teachers are possibly up next. There's suggestions that they actually march on Sacramento to increase funding. It's like, you got to speak up or else, there's just recently an article out this week about the pace at which billionaires are amassing wealth and how the top number of billionaires have like half of the world's resources. I forget the exact numbers, but it's crazy math. And it's something when you look at, you're like, that's insane. That's absolutely insane that people literally are homeless. They don't have something to eat. They can't afford, basic medical and health care. Meanwhile, there's people that are literally, buying their 7th yacht and they have like a 27th vacation home. They're dropping, tens of thousands of dollars on like a t-shirt. It just, why? This is ridiculous. I don't get it. That's why I don't like sales and industry, and I retreated to art. Oh, what are we going to do? I'll tell you what you can do. You can vote, sign the petition, and have Lieutenant Frank host the Oscars. Why is the Oscars going to be hostless? Last time I did that, I graduated from high school, went to college, 1989. Rob Lowe was like doing a duet with like Snow White or Bambi. I don't know. It did not go over well at all. Ask Rob Lowe. Check in with Rob Lowe about how a hostless Oscars goes. Lieutenant Frank is available, and it's a thankless job. And I think if anyone can take on a thankless job, it is a sheriff in women's short shorts, rainbow tactical leg warmers, and a Barbie walkie. Imagine what that guy hears on Hollywood Boulevard and at football tailgates. Oh, I don't have to imagine. I've heard it. But you can vote for him. Sign the petition. It's a what is it? A causes.com thing. Just go to Vegas90210.com, click Oscars, and you can sign the petition. You can also write me at romanpodmail@gmail.com. Would love to answer your questions on a podcast just like this. Now, can listen to this podcast at Mixcloud, Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube, where we are Mark Roman Empire. On SoundCloud, Mark Roman Podcast. MarkRomanEmpire.com has all the links, plus rolling new grooviness. Don't forget, we got a new profile now on Instagram, Mark Roman Empire. My interview guest today, Kurt Tasi. Now, he's known for his videos across social media, dancing with his cat. That's what he does. He's no mere millennial. He's a legit teen sensation. Oh, yeah, he's got a fix on that 18 to look younger acting market. He sings, he acts, he produces, he directs. He was even a first AD. We'll explain what that is during the interview. Don't worry. He's a bundle of energy, a fellow SAG-AFTRA actor, and the best damn Deadpool cosplayer I know. Hey, let's get to know Kurt a little better. Kurt Tasi.
Yes, sir.
I knew that.
You did. We
I
all
like
knew
that. See, literally, though, I know you not the way most people know you, because most people know you as the teen sensation, not merely cat whisperer, but cat dancer. You dance with your cat. We'll get into that in a moment, but that's not how I know you. I had to learn about that. I know you as Deadpool.
Indeed.
Actually, my Lieutenant Frank.
Yes.
How do you recall that initial encounter of ours?
I would say, see, when you're Deadpool, it's
which you were.
I mean, when you're trying to portray that is Deadpool.
Oh, you didn't try.
It's
you did. You pulled it off.
I guess it would be just a positive attitude sprinkled with sexual harassment. That's just the basis of Deadpool, and you work your way up.
Yeah.
And you're riding the fine line between, is he going to say something really sexual, or is he going to say something really sexual?
And see, Lieutenant Frank can relate to that, because in his worldview, he's got kind of this Emperor Norton mojo from Gold Rush days in San Francisco, where he just announces that he's an authority.
Yeah, you know when Lieutenant Frank is there.
He has no idea what everybody's thinking about.
No.
Everybody's thinking about what he's wearing.
Right.
And that's
tactical
not
leg
even...
wear with about 47 inches of skin between the bottom of the shorts and the top of the leg boots.
Tactical leg warmers.
Tactical leg.
Lieutenant Frank will be quick to correct.
There's no such thing as a farmer's tan for Lieutenant Frank.
There is a photo in front of the Hard Rock Cafe on Hollywood Boulevard, and Lieutenant Frank is doing his signature pose of, quote, spreading the news.
Yes.
And your Deadpool, perfectly in character. This was a total Deadpool move. Is laying on the ground beneath the squattage, as you were.
Yeah, squatting over me.
And
Good
just,
times.
kind of like, get the arm under the chin with the elbow down and stuff. Just like, hey, hi.
Yeah, I could feel the atmosphere from the undercarriage.
And there was a lot of atmosphere.
Yeah, there was a lot. It
was
was
a
like
warm day,
it was
too,
almost
so.
like a smog above a city. But just
which city, one wonders.
I mean, if Old Spice could only know the things I smelled under you. I know, but and you
hashtag Deadpool life.
Perfect embodiment. When I first saw you, it was just like, the outfit. The outfit is the eye catcher, and then I'm like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? This guy. This guy's got something to say. Let's find. And then so it's just you as not even just you as Frank, but you as Mark, just that kind of open, warm person in general. You just bring people in. So like it's just like
kind of you to say.
that vibe energy, like good vibes. Like real recognizes real. So like when you feel that with someone else, you just instantly click, and that's just one of the things that it was just from there. It was just like, all right, well, guess we're friends now, and like that was it. There was no, you didn't really have to. Oh, this guy seems a little off. I got to get to know him. It was just like, no, I know him. Like that was it. He stood over me. We took a picture. We're pretty much friends now.
It's mutual mojo attraction. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
We both felt comfortable dipping our tortillas in each other's guacamole.
Yes.
Wait,
yes.
what?
Real men share Mexican food. It was like Lady and the Tramp, but Not with spaghetti, but with a taco, a single taco.
But in a safe for work.
Oh yeah,
you know,
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, work on the
Absolutely.
boulevard, so it was.
And you are technically a busker, even though that's not what you do every given day.
I
But
mean,
that is in your repertoire.
Technically, it's on the resume. I never did it for the money. I never did it. I really wanted to just have like an outlet. And I loved entertaining people. And so I started off as Spider-Man before Deadpool.
I saw that. We'll get to that in a sec. Can we dive in a little bit on where are you from, Kurt?
I was born here in California.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I was born in California. I was born in
Where?
Thousand Oaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Ish.
yeah, like literally Los Robos Hospital in Thousand Oaks. But I lived in California till I was 2, and then I moved to Colorado. Raised in Colorado from that time until I graduated high school, in which I moved back to California to pursue TV and film.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you remember about year up to year 2?
Up to
in
year
Thousand
2.
Oaks.
Yeah. So
What do you recall from that time in your life?
a lot of good times for sure. Great memories. A lot of floor work for sure.
Floor work.
Yeah. Saw
Okay.
a lot of shoes. Got very well versed in the shoe region from crawling around and stuff.
I mean, that's kind of
pretty
a
much it.
101 if you're going to learn how to dance. You got to
if
start with the basics.
You got to start from the ground.
Where do we do it?
up.
Literally.
The ground up.
That's great. So you get into Colorado.
Yes.
And let's do a little research here. Where did you go to high school?
Yeah. So I went to high school, Columbine High School.
That Columbine?
The Columbine. That is right. The Columbine. I was not there. I was in 2nd grade. My sister was a freshman when it all went down.
Wow.
She was there. She was in the cafeteria. Craziest time of my life. I mean, I remember it so vividly. I wasn't scared because as a kid, you don't really understand. You just know that the teacher's like, your parents are coming to get you. There's something and you're just
Right.
like, oh, you practice these lockdowns. And like as a kid, you're like, what's going on? And so at the time,
See, that's so weird to me. When I was a kid, there was no lockdowns. We were afraid of nuclear war. We weren't
right.
afraid
So there
of
was an
someone
under the
coming to-
desk thing, there the drill or whatever they do. So
Wow.
it was just so surreal. You didn't really fully understand what happened. I mean, at least for me, until the dust had settled. And then I really, I remember everything. Like visiting people in the hospital and people who were learning to walk again, and
Damn.
being with my sister who had friends who were shot and who were injured and things like that, just being there. So that was a big deal. And every time I bring up the fact that I went to Columbine, everyone's like, were you there? And I'm like, no, I wasn't. They're like, what? Were you scared to go there? I was like, no, I wasn't scared. If anything, I felt more safe because it had already happened. And so you would think, your school's going to be more
Right.
protected and more aware. And of course, on the back end, there hadn't been anything like when I went to high school. I think the only other one that had happened when I was in high school was Virginia Tech. I think that was and that was towards the end of my high school career, but nothing else had happened from at least big news wise, Columbine until Virginia Tech in my knowledge. But it was the best 4 years of my life for sure. Fantastic school, fantastic community.
Right on.
It just makes, when you go back to Littleton, even to this day, it's nothing like Los Angeles. It's nothing like LA. It's nothing like the people, when you merge on a freeway in Colorado, it's like, no, you go first. No, please. No, you go first. Please. I insist.
What is it, populated with Canadians?
Please go. I insist. In LA, it's just who's your
Right.
blinker? Go.
Oh, I literally yesterday nearly got run over by a Lexus that was trying to get on Franklin.
Classic Lexus.
And
move.
the time of day where you're not going anywhere on Franklin.
No.
So it's you could clearly see there was no empty space either way on Franklin. So it's really?
Right.
And I literally took a photo and put it on my Twitter. And that's not the first time.
Out here, it's offensive driving all day. That's what it's just. You have to be offensive.
I was a pedestrian.
Right, you were a pedestrian.
I was a
but
pedestrian.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no 2,000-pound vehicle that I can sit inside, and maybe
you got to just go.
Theoretically,
you got to just send it, pedestrian or a vehicle. But yeah, so that was my my experience with Columbine, and that's where I am.
It's great to hear that you had a good experience. It's
Yeah.
interesting though, and I fell into the same trap here that everyone does of going like, "Oh, you went to Columbine,
Right? Like
what was
tender
that?
subject.
Wow, yeah.
No, yeah.
And the difference in the distance and not being there and having not, there's
Sure.
information that's thrown out there.
Right. I mean,
different media
assumptions
sources.
and everything are what they are.
But it's like when people, I'll encounter people, outside of California,
right.
and they're like, "Ooh, earthquakes, ooh,
Right, same thing.
fires."
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, and like we just had the Malibu fires, and it's kind of like,
Well, I mean, it's
I
scary.
saw more smoke last year in LA than I did this year, but
Right.
it seems like this year it's more,
Yeah,
there's more damage and it's more of a news story.
I mean, and you got to remember too, at the same time, I mean, that was 99. That was April 99. So news only hit its peak so much.
Yeah,
Today,
that's right. That was right. It was before 9/11 too.
Mhm. Today, something hits the news and it is everywhere. It is
Yeah.
everywhere. So most people, like,
True.
I've said that I've gone to Columbine and some people don't even like know. Like some people aren't as like, oh, like it just depends on who you talk to.
Wow, I'm getting old. That's old.
It just depends on your era, I guess. Yeah, it just depends
No,
on.
you're right. That's serious because that's like 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
99.
Wow, it's amazing. All right, so you come to California because
Yes.
you got a dream
I got the dream.
to be.
I mean, okay, so grew up watching Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura,
Love
Liar Liar.
Jim
It
Carrey.
was the first. Ace Ventura was the first.
Okay, now I'm
PG-13
getting
movie.
the Mojo
was the-
recognition.
It was
here.
the first.
Okay,
it was the
'cause I-
first movie. And
Yeah.
so I was like, I want to do that. I want to be.
smoking.
I want to
That's
be
massive,
that
but-
guy. I want a monkey on my shoulder, and I want to. I mean, not be a pet detective. I want cool hair, and I want
But
to
some
walk
kind
around.
of detective,
I want to be some kind of. I mean,
not an ordinary detective.
and I didn't get a
you know.
monkey. I got a cat, and I deal with it, and I love it. And
You're a cat dad.
I'm a cat dad. Yeah,
What's your cat's name?
Zeus.
Okay, and I'm assuming that Zeus is a male.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that was a close one.
Right.
Could've-
Close call.
Right.
All right. 50-50 chance here, Mark. Does he self-identify as a male cat? It's 2019.
Which
he could be offended.
bathroom does Zeus use? Okay.
Right. Right. There's no labels on his litter box. Okay, but he is a male. He identifies as male. Yeah. So growing up as a kid, I was like, I want to entertain people, and class clown. I was the kid who every parent-teacher conference, driving in the back seat. My parents driving me to a teacher conference, and they're like, so help me. If your parents tell me you were talking in class again, and I'm like, okay. And every conference without fail, Kurt's a great student. He's got a lot of energy. He participates, but he's a chatterbox. Like every teacher, and my parents would throw me this look because I'm following the footsteps of my two sisters. Graduated with honors, okay, like 4.0, and then
Wow.
and then both sisters,
No pressure.
both sisters graduated before me. One was the class of who was there in 99,
Previously
and then the
mentioned,
other
yeah.
one was 2005 and 4. Yeah, they were yeah, and I was 2010, so I was but all the teachers knew me.
Wow.
Because of my sisters and the reputation my sisters left. So they're like, oh, well, another Tasi in the high school. And I'm like, yeah, C average.
Now let me ask you this:
Here you are.
when you were in school, when you were in class,
Yeah.
and there's like, I don't know what your class size was, 20, 30
Like individual
Ish,
class?
yeah.
Like in elementary school?
on average.
Yeah, elementary school was like
especially in high
17
school.
to 20.
Let's talk about high school.
Well, high school, yeah, each individual class was like max 23, maybe.
Did that feel like your classmates? Did they feel like an audience?
Not the classmates, but the class that I was in, like the grade.
Okay.
So like 9th grade, I get there and I'm like, all right, got to make a splash. I'm a freshman, and I was painted as annoying and egotistical, and I was like bullied and like just beyond. And I
Bullied
embarrassed
about what?
I mean, well, because I'm, high energy, and like I was
Gotcha.
quoting movies, and I was just that guy, like, center of attention kind of thing. And I didn't.
Where did the in movies come from?
Any movie. Like people used to call me like dictionary because they could come up, and the challenge was, the ongoing underlying challenge was to come up to me and throw me, like, because I would know you or whatever. They would come up to me and they would throw a movie quote at me. Just a quote. It would have to be it couldn't be like, hey, you over there. Like, it would have to be some sort of identifiable quote from a movie, and then I would tell them the movie, because I had seen so many movies up until my high
You're
school.
a cinephile.
Yeah, so
Okay.
my parents got me a portable DVD player when they first came out. This was back when it was the CD and the screen, and you're like, this is technology. They got me one for Christmas, and all I asked for Christmas and birthdays from then on was DVDs. And so I was like, I want movies.
Yeah.
So every night, and to this day of being 27 years old, going on 28,
You millennial, you.
to this day, I watch an entire movie before I go to bed. And I did it. I did it when I got that DVD player, and I've done it ever since. And I've seen every movie in my collection upwards of 100 to 200 times each. Because Black Friday comes out, I go ham. Like, I blow money. I'm like, and 50 DVDs, how much? They're like, that'll be $480. I was like, $10 DVDs.
But that's your...
It's my lifestyle,
but it's also...
It's a craft.
It's your college
you're
education.
Right. You're
really.
Right. Yep.
You're studying. You get a PhD, and it's not... It's odd because even to this day... But
it's knowledge.
People don't respect it, even though like you could go to USC...
Sure.
And you literally, like, that's what you'll do in class is you'll sit in class,
study film,
watch a movie, screen it, and then there's a discussion.
Right. See, so exactly. So that was my upbringing. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to entertain.
So you just love film.
Well, not just film, just entertainment, performing, whether it was, doing that monologue or that little skit in class or doing musical theater. I did all the talent shows.
Okay.
I did all the musicals in my high school. I grew up doing musical theater because when I was in elementary school, my sister she comes home from school one day, she goes, "Hey, Kurt, my high school, Columbine, is holding auditions for the musical." And I was like, okay. I was like, that's cool. Good luck. Like, and she goes, "They're doing The Music Man and they're looking for an actual kid to play Winthrop." And I was like, okay. She's like, "You can sing. You should try out." And I was like,
oh, wow.
I was like,
sister hooked you up.
I was like, I'm not going to be in a high school musical. Are you crazy? And so I did. I auditioned. I got it. I was Winthrop. So that news hit elementary school. I was now the elementary school kid in a high school musical. Flyers all over the elementary school. Come see Kurt in.
Now, what was
Music
that
Man.
like with your classmates?
It was crazy because people were like, "Whoa, that's like you're so Because I was in choir in elementary school.
You were like a celebrity.
No,
in elementary school. In the world of your elementary school, that's a big deal.
I mean, it was cool. It was a cool feeling because I was doing something that I love doing, and everyone was like, "Oh, Kurt, yeah, makes sense. Does the talent shows? He's in choir. He's
kid,
energetic. And
you were already experiencing what it's like to be a performer who has fans, and there's news of something you've done, and people have heard about you.
Yeah, and that was just the beginning. Like you're talking, that catapulted into this love for musical theater. I was like, I loved it. I loved the stage. I could not I would get up there. Wouldn't freeze a line. I would go out, like I would just be me,
right?
With an enhanced energy. Obviously, people would see me after the show and they're like, "That was so great, Bob." And I was like, maybe these are just people, my friends who are like, "Good job, man." Like, "Hey, keep at it." Like, you're not gonna go up and tell someone they did bad if they did bad. But I
discounted it.
I was like, "Oh, thanks." Like, I didn't really know how to accept a compliment, and I never really fully.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I always, because you're your own worst critic.
Tell me about your mother.
I mean, my mom, okay, so this is what I'm getting. My mom, perfect example. I had pursued the musical theater career, and outside of high school, I joined a nonprofit theater organization that I ended up doing over 25 shows with.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I had been doing that for so long. Then, whilst doing that, I grew a little bit older, and by the time I turned 17, I booked a legit theater production, my first paid gig as a paid actor.
And as fate would have it, this is episode 17 of Mark Roman Empire.
When I'm
also
17, and this is culmination. And I got paid to do Oklahoma. I wasn't a lead role. I was just an ensemble dance, and I had like a few solo lines in a song, but I wasn't a character. Then.
But that's a big deal.
It was a big deal.
I need to see it, but I'm aware that, in the theater world, Oklahoma is like one of the...
It's a great, classic, boring show, but great music kind of thing. Like, you're like, wow, these songs are like...
Yeah, it's about the music and the dancing.
Exactly,
and,
So
sets and...
I did that with that company, and then they had auditions for Grease. And I was like, all right, well...
of course.
Got to audition for that. And so I auditioned, and I land the part of Roger, which in the movie No part at all. No part with John Travolta. He's one of the T-Birds. He's the one who actually loves Jan, the girl who likes Twinkies and wine. So that was my character. But in the stage show, he has a huge role, and he has a duet with Jan called Mooning. So it's about mooning at the prom when he goes to when they moon the camera.
Right.
So.
And you still have the hair. You have
if
Morrissey
the hair
was a millennial hair. It's amazing.
The hair has gotten.
You can ski off that thing.
The hair has gotten much better. I've always gotten compliments of having nice hair, good hair, and I've tried to upkeep that. My
it
sisters
has volume. It has. I think there's
height.
there's stories to it. Like, is there?
It's like an oak tree.
There's an escalator.
It's like an oak tree. Like
somewhere.
the layers of the hair. Show the other stories.
It's lush.
Yeah.
Suddenly, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Right. I don't really know what to do. So my mom was at every single show. We had 32 shows of Grease.
So she was clearly very supportive.
Every single one. Yeah, and she's always been.
Now, is she still in Colorado, or
she is? Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm here by myself. Both my sisters have families.
You got
kids.
Zeus.
I've got Zeus,
and you got your
right.
fans.
I've got my fans. Yeah, in case it gets hot. Yeah, here in the valley. Yeah, but
can we talk about Zeus?
Sure,
and his relationship and like what? Because that really kind of
catapulted things for sure. If that's where you're going, yeah. So I rescued Zeus. Adopt, don't shop. And so when I moved here, this was in 2010. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know anyone.
Okay.
Super lonely. I had a job, but struggling to make like friends and get out and blah, blah. So I got a cat, and I was like, all right, what a better.
A lot of people do that.
Nothing wrong with a little companion to keep you company and whatnot. And so I adopted Zeus, and I raised him since he was 5 weeks old. Literally had him.
Oh, wow.
Palm of my hand.
So you guys have a
and so
serious bond.
A serious bond, yeah. I wanted to train him the best of my abilities. I was no professional trainer by any means, but I was like reading stuff online because I had the time, obviously.
Sure.
Reading stuff online, how to train your cat and how to make them like animal actors. And I was like, maybe we can book a job. And I'm like, this is my mind. And I'm like, 18 out of high school. I'm like, we're going to do commercials together.
I feel like someday I'm going to see a Broadway play
I hope
you've
so.
written that's called, How to Train Your Cat Without Even Trying.
Yes, that is such a good idea.
I think that's
it'll be right
the
up there with
your autobiography.
Yep, right up there with Hamilton. It'll be just breaking records. So I've had him since 5 weeks old, and he just turned 8 in November. So he's
okay.
He's seasoned vet now, and he's awesome. He's great. Really, really lucky to have a cat like him. As weird as that is to say, it's just like he's different. Like, so
he's your pal.
He's my pal. I took advantage. So I started making videos, and being an actor out here in LA, you got to make your own content, and you got to you got to make your own content, and like the Mark Roman Empire podcast, you got to definitely follow that. Plug that.
You're already on it. You already got booked.
No, you got to
no need to ingratiate further. I like what you're doing.
You gotta
like where it's coming from.
You gotta make your own content and stay consistent. So I was like, what a better way to be consistent than just film me and my cat walking around the house. And so
they say write and perform what you know. So
and so that one day, actually the viral video that sent it all into motion. I'm just sitting at home and took my pre-workout, about to go to the gym, feeling lit, feeling really energetic. I'm like, whoa! Just cleaned my apartment. I'm about to go down to the gym and pound some iron.
Right.
And I was playing music in my room. And it was EDM. It was Tsunami, which is just da-na-na-na-da-na-da-na-da-na-da-na. So it's just like hype music.
Right.
And I'm just next level. Like pre-workout is borderline legal meth. Like it's just powdered meth that you can take, and that's it. And you can punch a hole in the wall.
Right.
And so I'm just messing around, and Zeus is just sitting there looking at me, being an idiot. Me, the idiot, not him. He's just always looks at me like I'm some kind of idiot. And so
I think all cats.
Right, all cats. They're just judging you 24/7.
Yeah.
And so
like they endure us.
Yes. Yes. Zeus has walked on his hind legs before, like with me. I've grabbed his paws and just walked around like you're walking your kid, teaching your kid to walk. And so
not a new thing.
I'm psyched. And so I start to do that, and then I jump and he jumps.
What?
And I'm as if he's maybe confused to jump into my arms. But he doesn't. He doesn't complete it. He just jumps off the ground and then back down. I'm like, Okay. And so,
Well, he trusted you.
yeah.
So
So
he's kind of like, I don't know what's going on.
What's happening? Or
but-
is it a hug? Is it a snuggle? What's going on? I'm going to stand. I'm walking. I'm
But he was
confused.
okay either way.
He was cool
and
with
it
it.
happened.
He's cool with it. And so my roommate saw it. He goes, "Oh, that's hilarious. You should film that." And I was like, "All right." So I put it on Snapchat. Literally within 10 minutes, my Snapchat exploded with people. You need to post this on Facebook. You need to do this. So I was like, all right, fine. God, stop blowing up my phone. I'll post it to Facebook, whatever. Post it to Facebook and I go to the gym. I come back. My Facebook is just exploding with just comments and tags and people like LOL, like blah, 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 just nonstop. And I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
Got back to the gym. I didn't leave my computer for 4 hours.
Something is happening.
I didn't leave my computer for 4 hours. It was just bam, 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 bam. And I was like, oh my God. I
You just
woke
went
up.
viral, son.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And I woke up the next morning at like 7 a.m. from a call from England. And it was Lad Bible. And he's like, hey, Kurt, what's up? Hey, it's...
Okay, help us old folks here. Loud Bible.
So Lad Bible is a viral video content like you ever see on Facebook. There's like... there's just different, like the different viral thread, and Lad Bible is one of them, or Unilad, like just different pages, basically. So Lad Bible is a big UK company that produces viral videos, or they share, or
Hear that, Ollie?
Ollie, I'm sure Ollie's a
little disgruntled that we don't.
I'm
that
sure
you're
he
not
knows.
English this week.
well,
We had a prime English specimen last week. I think Haley's okay with me calling her a specimen.
a specimen, I'm
Yes.
sure. But yeah, so I got a call from them, and they wanted to license the video because of how well it was doing, and they market it.
Nice.
Because what they do is, you ever seen the piano cat on the pistachio commercial? It's like dun dun. It's a cat playing the piano, but it's a pistachio commercial.
Okay.
So it was originally just a cat playing a piano, and it was a viral video.
Right.
And that was now licensed into a national commercial. So they booked that for them. So they basically act as your liaison or your agent to book you work, or like if people share your videos.
Is Zeus SAG-AFTRA?
Not you.
Because I know you are. You're a fellow SAG. In fact, I'm wearing my SAG-AFTRA shirt today.
I am.
Show solidarity with the LA school teachers who just finally got some terms and the strike's over. And
yeah.
hopefully all the federal workers can finally go back and
I am
get
SAG.
paid.
I've been SAG since 2012,
Right on.
right before the merger.
Me
happened.
too. That's about the same time.
Yeah. And so Zeus is not, but he is an exclusive hire through me. So we are a package deal.
He's SAG eligible.
I'm sure, yeah, right? I mean, let's just say he doesn't pay his dues. All right, let's just say
Gotcha.
he's just
no,
he's
he
raking
pays
in.
his dues. He pays his
He
dues.
pays his
to
dues.
Dad.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
He's
But
like, I guess I'm jumping up with Dad right now.
he's like,
We're not hugging.
it's like, you can talk to my
I'm
manager.
not landing on a human. I'm landing back on that floor again. But
Yes.
whatever. Here we are.
Yes.
Now, is this this video we're talking about, the initial one, is this called EDC Rave Cat that currently has 828,000 views?
That's just on
Facebook?
Yes. So that's
Just on Facebook,
That's
okay.
just my page, because my page with the followers that I have.
So it got licensed?
Well, not even
video?
just not. It did get licensed, but not just
Nice.
licensed. It got shared by like everywhere. So not even, this is, like I said, the 800K.
So there's other platforms, other
Yes.
users. And
they
you
have
gotta-
their own views.
You got to add all those metrics together to get the grand view of who've
So
actually
Lad Bible alone, just Lad Bible, when they posted, is 20 million. Just them, not counting Unilad, not counting.
I mean, you have some pretty impressive numbers, but I wasn't even counting because I got to be honest, I'm an old dude. So so the whole viral video thing is, it's unfamiliar, uncharted territory.
Sure.
for me, so.
I mean, you're like Obi-Wan.
So Professor
you
Kurt.
understand. You understand what's happening, but you're an old school kind of. What is this new?
I'm a little more like Luke on Tatooine,
Okay, all right, figuring it out.
Yeah,
but a Jedi Master.
But I
nonetheless.
look like Yoda, so
Yes.
and I feel like Yoda.
For those listening,
Older
he's
Yoda.
literally green in a brown robe right now. He's got like 14
Clutching
white
a
hairs.
gnarled walking stick.
Yes.
It looks like it came straight out of Lord
He's
of the
got
Rings.
4 fingers. It's just weird.
I do.
He's got 4.
I have 4 fingers
and a thumb.
Yes.
Slam.
Right.
But yeah, so what were you saying?
Well, because your numbers, I mean, everyone will have links in
Sure,
in the page for this episode, but just to give folks a sense, on your Instagram, you've got almost 19,000 followers.
Almost. So close.
On your Facebook page, which is verified,
Yes.
you have 13, almost 14,000 followers.
Almost.
Or like
13.6.
13.6 likes, 13.8 follows. I still don't know what the difference is.
I don't understand that either. How do you
But
like a page or follow it without
whatever.
liking? I don't know.
And
You're
then
right. I don't understand.
I actually spent time going through all your videos here, and I watched one or two, but I was just I think this will give people a sense of your content and the metrics. And keep in mind, kids, like Kurt just said, this is just on his
My
platform.
page. Yeah.
Some of these have been shared, and they got additional numbers out there in the internets. But we've got One Bad Elf on a Shelf, which is marked explicit, which is good because you are a teen sensation. It definitely does.
Right, because teens
18 to look younger, so
Right.
you want the Disney Nickelodeon
That's right. That's right.
opportunities.
Legal to work a full day.
That's got 15,000 views, which is a very respectable number.
Yeah, it's good. It did
You got
well.
The Zombie Tries Zombie Frap, which is a prank. That's
that was a
got
great one.
15,000 views. Polite Cat Asks for a Drink, 18,000 views.
Ridiculous.
Why I didn't watch that one, I don't know. And I'm like,
Literally, my cat annoying me for a drink of water, but not from his bowl because he doesn't drink from his bowl. He has to have it on tap from the faucet. So he jumps up on the counter.
it's like a MacGyver cat or something.
He's just like, turn it on, 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 turn it on. And then I'm like, God. So I'm literally on the couch and he'll just yell at me until I
my
literally turn the
God.
sink on for him to drink out of. So that was what
this,
that video was
This
about.
sounds like things cat parents say.
That
which
is also true.
is actually also an original
Part
sketch
2.
of yours that has 23,000 views.
Part 2 coming soon.
We've got, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things cat parents say. Part 2.
Stay tuned, kids. And that's how do they find you on Facebook?
So you can search my name at Kurt Tasi, Tocci,
Okay.
Kurt Tocci.
Stanley Tucci's not your father.
No, Stanley Tucci unfortunately is not my father. Yeah, so you can search me on any platform, and you'll
you
find
got
me.
unified that way. That's smart.
Yeah, so you can search. It's just the last name, honestly. The Tocci is what sets it apart. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and what else I say? Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
seen
and
your Snapchat,
yeah, Snapchat. Yes.
which I'm not on. I'm
Right.
technically on, but like I don't dive into
Right.
it.
It's. I mean,
so-
like I
is
use.
it fading?
No. Yes and no.
Okay.
It's plateaued. I wouldn't say fading.
Instagram really seems to be like the place, right?
Their Instagram stories. I do a lot of my stories. I try to cross post, but like
Yeah.
I'd be more exclusive on my Instagram just because when you post on your Instagram story, you can use like a hashtag and like
Yeah.
post
right.
about stuff like that. So
Exactly.
yeah. But anyway, you can just search my name anywhere and you will find me.
And continue. This is stuff I saw on your Facebook page, your verified Facebook page.
Yeah, I just-
Unicorn Frap, Deadpool drive-through review, 23,000 views.
Yeah.
This song is perfect. Yeah, I guess how it's spelled. 58,000 views.
Yeah.
Ellen's, love Ellen. Been watching a lot more Ellen.
Love Ellen.
Ellen's Dance Dare 2016.
Oh, I need a new
Can't
dance
Stop
Dare.
the Feeling, 59,000 views. Life of a Waiter. Well, that I kind of understand why it's got 60,000 views
That
here
one,
in LA. 'cause
that
it's
one
like,
did very well. Yeah.
Hey, I was a waiter once. What's this all about?
What is this all about? You're a wait. No way.
And then we got EDC Ravecat at 828,000 views just on your Facebook page, verified.
Yes.
And then you got YouTube with 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I
which
don't
has-
push my YouTube as much. That's why.
You're
It's so
mentioning you got
saturated.
Spider-Man Kiss Prank, but that has 164,000 views.
Yeah, like I said, like some of them, it's just weird. Like YouTube has become so saturated and you have to literally post on YouTube based on right now with all the videos going up, like every 2 days. Like, and I'm like, not about that.
Wow. Yeah.
But with Instagram is now kind of taking the front as to where people mainly go. People go to Instagram
Okay.
to watch videos. So I've geared towards that, and that's why it's grown as much as my Instagram has. And I've kind of just if people want to follow me on, YouTube, great. I
Right.
put my videos on there for
Sure.
their convenience if they don't have Instagram, or I
Right.
try to cover all bases to, please everyone. So that's why my YouTube isn't as strong as I'd like it, but it's okay. At least it's still there.
You're still a social media star and
I'm like a
influencer.
semi-pro.
You're an influencer.
I would say I'm like semi-pro. I'm getting there. Definitely gaining traction. extremely slow. It's been very slow. Some people, like I see videos on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, upwards, just millions of views. I'm like, and they're the dumbest videos.
See, this is why I have difficulty with this whole, like, it almost, like the pranks I have a difficulty with. It kind of goes into the area of like reality TV, which I just fucking loathe for so many reasons.
Right. All the pranks I do are always lighthearted. I'm never going to do a prank that's going to like...
You have this mojo that I thoroughly love.
I appreciate it.
And like the content that you've created, it makes sense coming out of that mojo. And part of it, I get, and I recognize clearly there's a generational thing that, you know.
It's just a good vibes. Like, I just want to bring happiness in any way I can. So that's why when people ask, well, what kind of page are you? I say, well, I'm a variety channel. You don't know what I'm going to put up. You don't know if it's going to be a vlog, which I've done.
Does that piss people off that you can't give them a label that they can hang their hat on? No, because
I mean, if they want to, you know, stick around, I mean, you have to give a chance, especially when you're following someone. Yeah, you follow them for a specific reason, but at the end of the day, I'm here to entertain you.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I put up the greatest video of all time, perfect edit, perfect storyline, perfect humor. 50% of the people aren't going to like it. And I can't do anything about that. And they're totally entitled to do that because everyone's not going to like everything you do. It doesn't matter how great you are. There's people out there who hate The Rock. I don't understand why. He's amazing. But there are people who don't like him. So at the end of the day,
I got to at least respect the guy.
Yeah, I put out a versatility of content to cater to as many people as I can, as best as I can. Pranks, vlogs, cat videos, relatable rants, like the server video. Like, I'm just all over the place.
Staying
so I'm not
true to your mojo,
still
and what you're interested in.
Yes.
And it just occurs to me now, this deep into this episode, and
very deep
through all the prep, my catchphrase, if you will, for this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, talking about how people want, oh, what's it all about? You know?
Right.
Mine is, no cats, no garage, just the ABCs, actors, buskers, bands, comedians. And that's a reaction to Mark Maron's WTF podcast, which he does in his garage, and he's always got an assortment of cats. But, dear listeners,
we have cats now.
Zeus is not here.
He's not here.
He's
here in spirit.
I feel like
you're still staying true.
Still staying true.
No cats.
All right.
Disclaimer, but people who have cats. It's the asterisk at the bottom.
Different.
Yes.
It might be really close, but it's different.
No cats.
Now, Stray Cat Strut is a song that involves cats. And speaking of songs...
Yes.
See what I did there?
Right.
You're a singer-songwriter.
I mean, songwriter,
which makes sense now that I've learned your musical theater background.
Musical theater, yeah. Songwriter, not so much. I've co-written a few.
Oh, you've co-written?
Yeah.
You collaborate. There's a band that you work with,
not a band, an artist. Chasing Lights Music.
Okay.
One of my great friends, Mike Lawrence. We've collaborated on things such as Bromance Recover. That was already written by two YouTubers, Ryan Higa and Chester C., but we recreated that. And then we've gone on to make our own music videos, whether it be his, like I've helped him write music for his actual music. And then 'Cause I'm Savage, which is a song I came out with.
Right.
It's about being savage. We co-wrote that together and shot that music video together as a team.
And that has 23,000 views
that
on
one
your
was
YouTube, I believe.
YouTube or Facebook.
I think it's Facebook.
Yeah, probably Facebook.
And you got We Are Everywhere. That's good 53,000.
Yeah, see, that's the Columbine family for sure. That one we wrote together as well. And we shared that on the anniversary.
Oh, wow.
A few years back. Shared it on Facebook. People loved it because there was a song and it was Columbine Friend of Mine. And it was by the two survivors who went through it, and they wrote an acoustic cover, and it's a great song. Really sad, but it's Columbine, your friend of mine.
Yeah.
And there hadn't been another song since. So I was like, the song, every time you hear the song, it makes you cry, like so sad. And I was like, we need to make a powerful song about the Columbine community and show what it actually is, and not this dark light painted over it all the time, and show that there is like this amazing family that is behind, that is Columbine. And so we wrote this song, we shot the music video, and
And we're
People love
still
it.
dealing with that subject matter
Yep,
to this
every
day. I
time.
think there was just another shooting today in Florida, I want to say, at a
No.
mall or something. It's just, it's
No.
like,
Every
it's
time-
become
every-
routine now. It's
Every time
ridiculous.
there's something, it's always back. Oh, Columbine, like, that's just how it goes. But
Well, it's cool that you're creative and you're an artist and you can make things that can help people,
I'm trying to stay versatile.
No, you did it. Trying is thinking
know,
about it.
yeah.
You've got something out there. It's got I watched that music video, or I watched the "Cause I'm Savage."
Yeah, that was my biggest.
You got the Lambo in the pool, and
it was my biggest budgeted produced video that I have ever made.
That is crazy.
Shot for shot. Like, we rented
That's
locations,
awesome.
we rented the Lambo, we traveled. Like,
yeah, no, it's
we put a month of work into that one video, and it was
you.
awesome. And I
believe you.
really I wanted it to do so much better. And I really hope that, like, when the fan base crawls to what I want it to be.
That's the artist's life. Sometimes you never know.
I know, but I feel like it will get the recognition it will need sooner or later, because it is fantastic. It's an awesome
Well,
song.
some recognition you do have, I noticed on the IMDb, for those of you not familiar with the film industry, the Internet Movie Database, which is currently owned by Amazon.
They own everything. They're basically Skynet.
Yeah.
They're basically Skynet.
Well, they're jockeying with Google for that, but yeah, they keep
Google
elbowing.
too. Yeah.
elbowing
Who's gonna
in.
send the nukes first? Amazon. Or Google.
I hesitate, not because I listen to representation, because I have none, and frankly, what representation I've encountered, I ask myself why.
Sure. Yeah.
Because the ones I would actually want, like,
Finding
my
good reps is
celebrity
very
level is
hard.
not where it needs to be for them to take notice, and everyone else, basically, they don't have the power of the goods to deliver me as talent. So my thought is, I better be like your number one priority, like in your entire life.
Right.
And if not, then why are we wasting each other's time?
Right.
So I hesitate to mention commercial work because for those who aren't familiar with the industry, you want to book the next commercial. And if you,
Sure.
let's say, for example, you just did I'm not saying you did,
Right.
but theoretically, let's say you did a car commercial for Acme Cars.
Acme. Yeah.
And then suddenly, Bozo Cars is thinking, hey, we want the guy that looks like Millennial Morrissey driving our new vehicle.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, but you just did one for Acme Cars. Ooh, that's a conflict. Ooh,
Right.
yeah, because people are going to associate, oh, yeah, we can't do that.
Mhm.
So there's one, and if you don't want to answer, I totally understand.
I'm an open book.
There's a line that, because I watch this, and the line that it's a voiceover while they're looking at your character in this commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at that spray radius. What am I talking about?
Just look at that spray radius, Jim. Yeah, it is remarkable. I must. Yeah, no. So that wasn't my voiceover. No, but what he is in. He is.
Yeah, but you're the guy.
I'm the one doing the spraying.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm the sprayer. So that was a
wearing
commercial.
some cool glasses.
Yeah. That was a commercial for Madden NFL.
Nice.
That was 17. Madden NFL 17? Yeah, because I shot it in 16. It was 4/17. And I was a college kid in a dorm on a hoverboard. And the reason I booked that job was because I'm a killer on a hoverboard. And
Really?
So, yeah. So in the audition, I did a bunch of tricks, and they're like, oh, because it's like talent needs to be able to ride hoverboard. No lines. Have college kid look. College kid look,
Yeah.
give me a hoverboard.
Right.
I killed it. I rode in backwards. I was riding it 1 foot, and they're like, book this guy. So I book it.
Nice.
And so I'm just supposed to be playing Xbox
Yeah.
while hoverboarding. And then I score a touchdown. And then I get like this bottle of soda water.
Mhm.
And then I shake it like a champagne bottle. And I start to spray it like Sweet Victory.
Right.
And so it's in slow-mo. So it's like, just look at that spray radius. And so, yeah, that was a good one.
awesome.
And it was cool because I never went to college. So I got to have that mini college experience of a dorm life for a day. So
you can
who's
put that on your CV
who's
now.
laughing now, student loans?
On the resume, it's like
On the resume.
it's a web link where it says college. It's
College.
Like, well, what? I don't understand. Did you go to online university? No. You'll see my college experience
Yeah,
in that.
I think everything is
click that
explained
link.
in the link.
Just click the link.
Click
Yeah.
the link. Swipe up.
And you've done a few TV shows. Actually, your IMDb is very diverse. You've got You've got actor, you've got work as a director, producer, work as a writer, work in the camera department, work as an editor, and work as, and this is a really industry specific term, a first AD. Explain to the kids at home, those who are not familiar with the industry, what is a first AD?
Yes. So first AD is a assistant director.
And why is it the first?
Is the first because there are
there more than one?
Sometimes there's two. I've never been on a set where there's been three. Usually it's first AD, second AD, and like that's like there's the director, then the first AD, and the second AD, and then they all have different jobs. So first AD could be anywhere between talent relations to also helping filming the actual project or calling shots, or it's just split down the middle as to. It's like director and co-director, basically, for layman's terms. But yeah, I got one for helping out on a web series, assistant directing. So
it's kind of like if the way I think of it, if the director is the president, the
vice president is the
not
AD.
the vice president. I would think it's the chief of staff.
Okay,
the first AD is basically dealing with all the department heads.
Sure.
Whereas like chief of staff's dealing with the department heads, different departments of the cabinet.
Yeah.
It's like
so it's just different roles. But yeah,
that's not an easy position.
No, I mean, you gotta, when you're an actor, you have to understand all roles, not just in front of the camera, because it's better to understand.
Not all actors feel that way.
I feel like you should. I feel like it makes you a better actor and more understanding, more humble, and more patient, especially as an actor. If you're going to be in front of the camera, you need to understand the person's job behind the camera.
Sure.
And everyone who's there for you when you're the actor. So I feel like it's good to be in someone else's shoes to understand what their job is.
And if they feel understood, everyone feels set, understood. Every last person on that set is literally working their ass off to make you look good if you are on camera. And then guess what?
They want to bring you back because you understand and you're not...
Because you're not an asshole.
You're not an asshole.
Yeah.
Don't be...
If I got to spend 14 hours of my day...
Right. You want to be with someone nice. So
under
be nice.
difficult conditions, very stressful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be a good person.
Well, you are clearly that because you've been a lot of different productions here. Let's see. Alex and the Single Girls, Savage,
web
Totally
series.
TV, Stop the Bleeding, Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Jimmy Kimmel Live.
College Humor, and Cause I'm Savage. That's the one that
Cause I'm Savage. That's our video.
You wore a lot of hats on that.
Yes. That was basically my, like I said, my first big thing. Like budgeted. I wrote it. I directed it. Produced it. Like, it was like a very James Franco-esque. Like, what didn't you do? You did everything. Like, but I had a ton of help with it. But as far as credits go, yes, it looks like across the board I did everything. But I certainly was not alone in the producing of that amazing piece of work. So, really happy with that.
I understand. We episode 6 was Lee Koch. He's in the film, the Clint Eastwood film, The Mule, but he works very closely with James Franco.
Awesome.
And he's like studied under James. And
great, yeah.
I was actually on a production a year ago. They auditioned me for Donald Trump, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I gave him one, but I'm like, the guy you want is a really good friend of mine in Las Vegas. He's the only person on the planet you need if you want a Donald Trump impersonator.
Sure.
His name is John D. Domenico, and the casting person for James Franco said, yeah, I know he's got a thing in Asia. He's got a conflict. He can't do it. So I auditioned, but then... by some stroke of, circumstance, John's at the airport in Vegas and Asia cancels. So he immediately messages me, goes, hey, can I still... This is the day of the shoot.
No. Did they even book someone?
It worked out. And then John invited me to set.
That's awesome.
And they delayed the whole production to accommodate John being there. And there's a bunch of other
That's how it works.
Celebrity names, Oh, yeah, it was fantastic.
And that's, that's it. Yeah. Exactly.
And John, if you're listening, I'm trying to get John on the podcast, but he's so busy.
Come on, John.
He was the only person the night of the election. Like all my friends are just like, oh my God, what the fuck just happened? But my buddy John is like, yes.
I can imagine. I can't imagine.
Ollie's losing his shit right now as I'm yelling on the microphone here. But it's a lot of love. Anyway, we got to wrap this up here. How do you feel about, and maybe you don't want to answer this, but I'm kind of curious, as someone who is doing things as a creative without representation,
sure.
The more I talk to people, the longer I go without it, the less inclined I am to actually even seek it out or even have a plan to want to get it. What are your thoughts and feelings? Because it looks like
About being represented.
Yeah, it looks like you have some representation, some management, right?
No. So I mean,
really?
on IMDb or whatever it says
is that all? That's all old stuff.
It's all old. It's not updated or whatever. I don't know.
You're freelance, brother.
I'm free. There are a few projects on my IMDb that when I was with representation, they got me those projects, but I have booked at least 80% of my own work and my own
I hear
stuff.
this all the time.
If the hustle is real, man. If you submit every day, you don't need representation. And not that I wouldn't love to have representation. I'm in the market right now and I'm talking to a few people and I might sign with this new agency. But the thing is, I want someone to want me to succeed as much as I do. And the thing is, I felt like the other people I've been with, I felt like I was working for them, and that's not really vibe. And so I was like, and then it just didn't work out, and that's okay. And so at the end of the day, if what it is, I'll become my own, business, my own. I will self-promote myself to be what I want to be, and then people will come knocking. Then I get to choose. Then who's in the driver's seat because of what I've built myself. And so if that's the road I'm supposed to take, then so be it. But I'm always looking, but I'm not like, man, I can't succeed without representation. As if I've seen people walk into auditions who don't have the auditions and book the job. Right. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So I would say it's just a label. It's nothing that defines you.
It's interesting to hear that from you. It echoes what I've heard from other people and what I've just kind of like witnessed and experienced myself.
Yeah.
For wrap up, is there what's up next on your calendar here? Is there anything you could talk about? Is there stuff you can't talk about?
No, I mean, I'm pretty
what's
open
next?
with everything I do. I always want to keep people updated on what's next. And 2019 is going to be an awesome year. I'm going to continue putting out more consistent content, trying to stay even more on top of my Instagram, growing my Instagram primarily because Instagram seems to be doing that. Facebook still, I'm throwing everything across the board as always, but I'm expanding my ideas and becoming more creative as I get older, and getting really fun with the projects and the little things I'm putting out. So if you follow me on Instagram or my cat, we will be just trying to build that. And
that's right. Zeus has his own account.
Zeus has his own account.
What's his account?
Dancin' Zeus.
That's awesome.
DANCIN Zeus. And then mine is Tasi, and that's it. And we'll just keep on the up and up. And every day's a new day to make something happen. I got a few more videos coming out, and then repeat. Just repeat.
You're definitely doing it, Tasi.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm glad I got to know you a little better here.
Yeah.
Beyond just the clever.
Beyond the streets.
High energy Deadpool that I first encountered.
Yes, beyond the streets.
Do we do it? Have we covered it?
I mean, we got the meat and taters.
Nice.
We got a good amount of it.
I like it.
England's impressed. We got the fish and chips.
I hope we carried some England over from last week. Come on, England. He's got millennial Morrissey hair.
I'm just oozing Slater Morris.
Tasi, everyone.
I appreciate the time and having me on. Thanks for joining the Roman Empire. Bring Caesar salads next time.
Good point. Tasi. It was fun to get to know him better. I just knew him from some brief experiences as his Deadpool, and he's a cool cat. Can I say that? He is. I like his mojo. I like his energy. And I like what he's doing. I think there's some things this old man could maybe learn from that millennial with the Morrissey millennial hair. So you casting directors out there, if you need some Morrissey millennial, that's right. Maybe you should listen to more of the Mark Roman Empire, also a podcast, if you want to make some casting decisions. I don't know. I'm just trying to help you guys out. Right? I love these people. I love the people that are here on the podcast. These are my friends. They're my colleagues. They're fellow artists. We cover the ABCs like I promised. Actors, buskers, bands, and comedians. And I think with Kurt, we covered most of those. Hey, any links to some stuff mentioned on the show, you can always find at markromanempire.com. Thanks to our listeners across the globe. I see you, Helston, Redruth, and London. Oh, yeah, in the UK. definitely listening to Haley from last week. I thank you guys. Hope you stick with the podcast here. We got some more good stuff for you. I also see you, Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, and Ashburn. No, I knew you knew it was in Virginia. Yeah, Ashburn, Virginia. I see you. And I appreciate all of you listening. You guys are awesome. Please only tell everyone you know. Hey, both Vanka and Will, a.k.a. Will and Grace, need our help. They're still homeless, but you can hero tier. Go to MarkRomanEmpire.com, click Vanka. You can listen to the podcast on Mixcloud, Podbean, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. There's also an Apple Music hack until we get to the store. Hopefully, I'll get that done very soon. MarkRomanEmpire.com, click Listen for all your choices. Are you a citizen of my podcast? If not, you missed out on previous contests. Join my mailing list, the Mark Roman Empire Census.
Sometimes we have special deals and perks for podcast citizens. What kind? Well, right now, subscribe and gain citizenship by 31st of January in this 2019, and you'll be entered to win a free item of swag.
That's right, kids. A free item of swag. To become a podcast citizen, join the census. Go to MarkRomanEmpire.com, click Census, and enter win that free item of swag. Twitter at the Mark Roman. Instagram now at Mark Roman Empire. Email your questions to me at romanpodmail@gmail.com, and I might answer them on this very podcast. But I can't answer if you don't ask. You know, feeling good about getting into this new year here, you know? I don't know, kind of tweaking the little systems here, working out the way I should. You know, you really got to kind of build the empire. It's brick by brick. Sometimes it's boring, but it all comes together. And I think that's true about just about anything that you do. If you love it in life, you gotta work on it. Like an old car, you gotta throw it up on the blocks, tinker on it, and make it a little better. Sharpen the saw, as they say. Anyway, glad you guys are sticking around. I hope you tell a friend. We're still growing. It's early days here. And until next week, hey, how can you hear a tear? For Vanka and Will, a.k.a. Will and Grace, remember Clownelin and Prince St. Paul, I am the Mark Roman.